In March 2023, a group of senior researchers published an open letter to AI developers around the world. This group, which included Elon Musk, posed a stark warning. AI systems with human competitive intelligence pose profound risks to society and humanity. The letter called for an immediate 6-month pause to the development of AI technology. Clearly, there are many people who are concerned about the introduction of AI technology into the modern workplace. And in this video, we are going to cover the following issues: what artificial intelligence is, why people are scared about it, what makes human beings different, and ultimately, despite all of these fears, the reasons there are to be optimistic about the development of AI tech. So what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence describes the ability of a computer or machine to mimic the capabilities of the human brain. The idea of AI has actually been around for longer than most people think. In 1950, the English mathematician Alan Turing published an article entitled "Computer Machinery and Intelligence." In the article, Turing posed a simple question: can machines think? In Turing's eyes, the answer, in the future, was going to be yes. Turing predicted that in 50 years' time, humans might not be able to tell the difference between an artificially intelligent robot and a human being. Fast forward to 2020, and Turing's predictions seem to have come true. The introduction of ChatGPT-3 was a watershed moment in the development of artificial intelligence. GPT-3 allows humans to engage in what seems like a human-like conversation with what is essentially an artificially intelligent robot. So how does ChatGPT answer questions? When you ask ChatGPT a question, it will probably seem like you are having a conversation with a human being. But how is this possible? The answer lies in something called a large language model. A large language model is a bit like a library that contains billions of bits of information from books, articles, and websites. When you ask ChatGPT a question, it looks through its library of text and finds the words that are most likely to answer your question. It then puts these words together in a sentence to form an answer. For example, if you asked a large language model, "What is the capital of France?" it will look through its library of text and find the words France and Paris. It will then put those words together in a sentence to form the answer, "The capital of France is Paris." Okay, so what's the problem? Well, if we compare ourselves to animals, humans have two essential advantages. One is physical, and the other is mental. The physical advantage humans have comes down to our opposable thumbs. Having opposable thumbs allows us to touch the fingers on the same hand, which in turn allows us to grip things. And the moment you can grip something, you can manipulate the physical world to create tools. Without the ability to create tools, human beings might not have gone very far in the evolutionary process. One toolless human versus one lion, you should bet on the lion. Give that human a weapon like a bow and arrow, or even better, a gun, and then it's the lion that looks in trouble. Having opposable thumbs gives humans a big advantage over other animals because it allows us to build tools that are very effective. The second major advantage is, of course, our mental ability. Relative to our size, human beings have enormous brains. If you've ever wondered why a human baby is so vulnerable for such a long period of time, whereas an animal like an antelope can be up and running within 20 minutes of being born, it all comes down to the size and complexity of our brains. Human beings' brains don't fully develop until their mid-20s. Once developed, however, our brains give us enormous advantages over other animals, allowing us to engage in complex problem solving. The evolutionary world is a competitive landscape, and our combination of physical and mental prowess gives us enormous advantages. For thousands of years, we have used these advantages to dominate this environment. There has simply been no one else that has been able to compete with human intelligence. The development of AI, however, potentially changes this. To understand why, we need to think about the modern economy. There are many different names used to describe modern economies. In the agrarian economy that characterized medieval Europe, the vast majority of the population was employed in physical agricultural work. Modern economies are typically characterized as knowledge, information, technology, or digital based. In the simplest terms, what distinguishes these modern economies from older agrarian economies is the role of human intelligence. In short, more than any time in history, modern Homo sapiens are compensated by their ability to solve complex problems. They are paid, in other words, to think. In the same months the researchers published the open letter warning about the development of AI, a report by Goldman Sachs raised another potentially worrying concern. They stated that up to 300 million jobs were at risk because of the introduction of AI, and the most at-risk industries were not the ones that people maybe had expected. The vast majority were white-collar jobs that demanded complex cognitive skills. We can now begin to see the threat artificial intelligence poses to a knowledge-based economy. Goldman Sachs' report highlighted an intimidating possibility. For the first time in human history, human intelligence has an artificial competitor. But are these fears overstated? Yes, AI poses some severe risks to the modern economy, but in previous times, hasn't it been possible that technology has always posed these threats, and yet we've found ways to overcome them? The future is never certain, and AI will certainly have a disruptive impact on the modern economy, but there are reasons to be more optimistic. The first thing to point out is that each and every time a new technology arrives, humans tend to panic about job losses. In each major revolution, the scientific, industrial and digital, new technology has given rise to fears of mass unemployment. During the Industrial Revolution of the 18th and 19th centuries, massive job losses occurred. But crucially, a huge number of new jobs were created. For the average person, the Industrial Revolution saw increased wages and a higher quality of life. By lowering the cost of essential goods and services, people were able to save money on essential items and take advantage of new employment opportunities that many did not foresee. And similar scares have happened even more recently. In the mid-2000s, the University of Oxford reported that 47% of jobs were at risk of elimination due to computers. But fast forward to 2023, and these fears appear unfounded. In January, the United States' 3.4% unemployment rate was the lowest recorded since May 1969, with over 500,000 new jobs. Even Goldman Sachs' report in 2023 was not all doom and gloom. While warning of major disruptions to the modern economy, they also highlighted major possibilities. Above all, in the world of productivity. AI gives you the opportunity to automate repetitive tasks that will definitely have enormously positive impacts on productivity. If these gains are realised, this may translate to a 7% increase in GDP. Moreover, it's crucial to emphasise that artificial intelligence is artificial. When ChatGPT strings together sentences to answer a question, it doesn't truly know the answer. For the vast majority of workers, the equation is far more complex than, will I be replaced by an AI? The real question employees and businesses should be asking themselves is, how can I use AI to ensure that I remain competitive? If there's one thing that appears clear, it is this. Businesses that learn how to best leverage AI systems will replace businesses that decide to bury their head in the sand about the development of artificial intelligence. It is best thought of as a highly sophisticated tool or personal assistant. Used to your advantage, it will simply improve the efficiency and quality of the work that you are able to do. Calculators didn't replace accountants, but you probably wouldn't hire an accountant that didn't know how to use a calculator. AI won't replace human beings, but humans that use AI will replace humans that don't.